Hey everybody, welcome to SwJ. Today we're picking up where we left off last time, adding another piece onto my blanket project. So far it's the denim side, and eventually the other side is going to be all my old t-shirts that I don't want to say goodbye to, but I don't want to wear anymore. So let's get into it. Going back to the red thread and the really big coach needle or cushion needle or whatever you want to call it. And today in Good World News, it's a bit of an update day. A few stories that we've discussed in the past that I'd like to expand on and give some updates on. First, going back to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which we've visited a few times on this channel, and I can't get over it that they're actually cleaning it up. That's not the story. Don't click away quite yet. This morning, have a little bit of a Zevia soda. Cheers. Sugar free. Alright, let's get this first stitch in and then we'll talk about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So in one trial run with this new system that they have, it's called Ocean Cleanup Rig System 002, and in one trial run they removed 20,000 pounds or 900 kilograms of plastic from the ocean in one run. And then they bring that all back to shore and they sort it and recycle it, and it is no longer in the ocean. And that, to me, that is just mind-blowing. With their calculations, if they were to start doing steady runs with this system, they could have 90% of that garbage patch, pardon me, 90% of that garbage patch cleaned up by 2040. 2040, that's like less than 20 years from now, it could all be gone. Well, 90% of it could be gone, so still be a big chunk. However, 90% less, which is massive. They are able to pull in pieces of plastic as small as 1 millimeter in diameter. So that's a lot of plastic. It's not the microplastics and the really tiny stuff, but it's most of it, and that's massive news. And as any endeavor goes along, they've already started making products to support the cause, and they're making sunglasses out of the recycled plastic that they pull out of the ocean. So if you want to get some garbage glasses. Check it out. I don't know where you would get them exactly, but I'm sure you could find them if you Googled it. But yeah, and I think that goes to support the cause, so would be a good thing, and sunglasses, yay. Now, I'm sure everybody at home is thinking, well, yeah, all fine and good, they'll be able to get rid of most of this garbage patch. However, what happens when people continue to pollute the rivers, and it continues to grow, right? You can remove a bunch, but there's always going to be more incoming. And the really cool news with that one is that they are designing units to go across across many of the major rivers, so that it'll prevent the plastic actually getting into the ocean from the rivers. And if you can cut off at closer to the source, at the source would be people not throwing plastic in the river. But it happens. The one thing that I'd like to see is some sort of a better system for the garbage bins that they have, the plastic wheelie bins they have in our area. Because when they go to dump that stuff, sometimes if there's a gust of wind, it'll just blow garbage out of the truck and into the environment and into the water and out to the oceans. If they could figure out a better solution for that, I think someone could do a lot of good towards avoiding the need for System 002. So I think that'll be the next step in prevention. If you've watched any of my rubbish conversation series, you'll have seen a lot of the stuff that gets thrown away in a typical city. And it's amazing what you find on the river's edge, just waiting to be washed away, or you pull a lot of stuff directly out of the river. On that one I discussed mental health and also cleaning up the neighborhood. It's amazing the amount of stuff that people throw away and into the water. Or in a place where they know it will get washed into the water, which is just as bad. There was one guy, he would steal electrical cords and copper and any copper wires he could get, and he would go down to the riverside and strip off some of the cable, and then whatever he couldn't strip off he would just burn off. He would start a fire and burn the plastic coatings off of the cables just to get at the copper. And you know, I know you gotta do what you gotta do to eat sometimes. It's just not a really good way to do it. And it would take so long to clean up the mess. All that stripped off plastic coating that would be left on the shore, on the riverbank. It just takes forever. And so much glass. There was a snapping turtle that lived in kind of a drainage creek, flowed into a river, and well, it didn't live there. It spawned there, and you'd see this thing swimming through, you know, past broken bottles and big shards of glass and plastic bags and all this stuff. It was just horrible to see, so I had to clean it up. I went in with rubber boots as well as I could, and I got whatever I could out of there. I hope other people have kept it up. It seems like people are becoming more environmentally conscious about just throwing their garbage away sometimes. And sometimes they need to be reminded. Anyways, another thing that we had touched on in a previous episode was solar panels, and they're building solar panel farms over top of landfills, like abandoned landfills that had been concreted over, and so they were making power from otherwise useless land, basically. Now they're also doing solar panels on farmland, where crops are growing. So what this does is it keeps the crops cooler and prevents water loss. And it also keeps the solar panels cooler because of the vegetation around them, and so it makes the solar panels more efficient, and they actually produce more power. Thought that was pretty neat. Another place that they're doing solar panels is over canals. So places that are already used. What that does is it saves water from evaporation when you're in places that the canals are for irrigation. That's very important, because you know, more water going to your crops equals more abundant crops. And you know, it's all lands that are already in use by man, or that have been used up by man in the case of the landfills. So really encouraging to see, you know, land having multiple uses. And with all those things being kind of around occupied areas, it makes it easy to transport the power to the occupied areas because it's not far. That's one thing that kills a lot of power generation is distance, because you do get power losses over distance, and yeah, you gotta watch that. And you have inline voltage regulators, basically transformers that increase your voltage along the way, and everything consumes power. so we always have losses associated. So the closer you can have your power generation to your power consumption, the better. Well, I think we're gonna call it a quick update episode. Do one little strip along here, and then we'll do a longer run next time. A little more Zevia. Cheers. Alright, let's pull the pins on this one. And yeah, I do really enjoy or value, and I do still enjoy the time that we get to spend together. It's been a lot of sewing, and it's been good. I need to stay on it. I've got another pair of jeans that needs some work, so we will get back to those yet. And ones I'm wearing could use a little bit of work as well. Let's see how this other side turned out. It's a longer patch, and yeah, I can dig it. Can you dig it? I hope you can dig it. I think you can dig it. And then we will join those. There and there. And then we keep on trucking. I actually used this for warmth earlier today. I was up here and it was a little bit chilly, and threw it over my shoulders like a shawl. And yeah, it'll work. Just needs to be bigger. And that's what we're doing. Right on. Well, until next time, keep chilling. Definitely keep chilling. Don't forget your cookie. Peace.